So whenever I was 22, I got a stripper to fall in love with me, and this is how it happened.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Not a Safe Place podcast. My name is Lance Morris.
I'm Jake Hopper.
Man, this is episode 1, numero uno. I want to take a second. I want to kind of soak this moment in before we start saying some not safe things and get canceled. Cats suck. Yes! Cancel us now!
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we get into that, let's talk about our brain itches for today.
Dude.
You got any good brain itches? Which, this is episode 1. We should probably explain what a brain itch is.
Okay.
They're basically pet peeves. We just call them brain itches because it just feels like there's a scratch that you can itch.
There may not always be, like,
Or an itch that you
specifically a
can't scratch.
peeve. It could even just simply be, like, something in the world that you're just curious about.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
Which is, yeah, like you said, it's just itching your brain.
Yeah.
I got something
Okay.
that really pissed me off the other day.
All right, let me hear it.
So I live in an apartment complex.
Okay.
And I'm also a very cheap person. So therefore,
Frugal.
yeah, we'll go with that.
Frugal.
And so I work out at the little fitness center that they have, which is smaller than my apartment. And so, I mean, there's probably hundreds, if not a few thousand people that live there. And I got to share it with them. Luckily, I'm able to get in there by myself or with one other person a lot.
Yeah.
But, after you work out there for so long, whenever there is somebody else in there, you just kind of figure it out.
Right.
Ma'am, I'm sorry if you're listening, but there's this one woman that works out there. Listen, there's only one bench
Man.
for by the dumbbell racks.
Right.
There's pretty much just one of everything.
Okay.
I walk in the other day and she's not sitting on the bench. She's sitting in between the bench and the dumbbell racks on the floor for like 3 minutes straight, which
Oof.
in the gym is a long
That's
time.
a long time.
So
3
long.
minutes?
But I see her
Jeez.
there often.
Right.
And every time that like she finishes like whatever set or reps that she was doing, she just sits down on the bench and gets on her phone for a long
No.
time. And I'm like,
No.
listen, if there was more machines and stuff here
Oh, absolutely.
or stations, like 100% go for it, take your time. But like and especially with like the dumbbells, that's like the majority of everybody's workouts because you could do so many things with that.
Right.
Yeah, that was just really annoying me because, like, I did basically everything else that I
And you're
could.
just sitting there waiting for her, like, hey, are you done sitting and doing nothing now? Or
Like-
are you going to get up and do something?
The next time this happens, I'm just going to go stand over her and just stare without blinking. I'm really good at that
I'm waiting for you.
until she just moves.
Dude, I hate that. Or the dude who stands in front of the dumbbells to take a bunch of, like, photos. And it's like, hey, bro,
Dude.
there's a bathroom for that. There's actually a full-size bathroom, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
full-size mirror in the bathroom. But boy, I'm about to roast some people.
Oh,
They don't want to go
100%.
They don't want to use the full mirror because they
No.
don't want people to see their chicken legs.
Right.
Ooh, that thing hurt. That
man.
upsets me. That genuinely upsets me. I hate when people do that. It's like, hey, bro, like there's other people here. Let's obviously you got to rest between your
100%.
sets, but like let's get it rolling.
But,
Let's
like-
get it moving.
30 seconds to a minute. That's all you need.
Yeah. If maybe.
Right.
Oh, dude. Especially in that small of a space.
Why are
Definitely
you
no.
on the floor? That's
Sitting beside a chair.
yes. Yes.
Sitting beside the chair. Oh, no, I'm just going to sit on the floor.
And it wasn't even I mean, she got up and she never did anything else but sit on the floor. Like, being on the floor, she didn't like do any workouts there,
Interesting.
didn't do any stretches or anything.
Right.
She was just sitting on the floor and then got up to do her thing and then
Weird.
gets back on the floor for her next break. I'm like,
I don't think people know etiquette.
No,
I
not
don't
at all.
think they do. Oh, so I have a pretty big brain itch myself.
let's hear it.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. I love social media. It's great. Social media is great. But dude, and especially Christian content creators, I love them, man. Yes, make content, man. Do it. Absolutely. I'm all for it. But if I see imagine if we could get 10,000 people saying we love Jesus in the comments. Nah, bro. No. Shut up. Imagine if you would just put out good content.
Yeah.
What if we imagine that? I hate that because they're trying to get the comments so that their stuff pops up on people's socials so that they can get more likes, so they can get more followers. And it's like, hey, it would be better if he said, imagine if I got 10,000 comments so I could feel validated in what I'm doing. I would comment.
That's exactly what they're saying.
I would comment. I'd be like, yeah, bro. Man, I hope you feel validated.
Right.
Or I would say something dumb. Who cares? Which I'm unbanned from commenting on Instagram now.
You are.
Hey,
nice.
I can comment. I'm being real careful now.
Are you?
Papa Meta up there, Mr. Zuckerberg scared me. So I'm chilling out now in the comments.
He got to you?
Oh,
Did he send his agents to your house?
No.
No?
No, that would be weird.
Didn't put you through a social education program?
Yeah. I had to go through a whole course on what's the proper etiquette in the comments. Apparently pointing out the obvious is not something you should be doing. But anyways, no, bro, I hate seeing some of that stuff because I'm like, dude, you're ruining it. You've ruined it for us all now. You made us all look dumb. There's some dude who's an atheist who saw that and was like, are Christians just attention seekers?
Well, it reminds me of those posts, and you see them on Facebook the most.
Oh, yes,
You know
dude.
exactly what I'm talking about, where it's a picture of, like, Jesus, like, basically just standing on top of Satan, and it's like and comment for Jesus, keep scrolling for the devil.
Yes, dude. It's like, oh, what? I will purposely scroll past them.
Yes,
like that's not how this
100%.
works. No, and then, dude, you see old people on Facebook who are like reposting it, and I'm like, you're a part of the problem.
Dude, family that I haven't talked to in like 10, 15 years, I will get direct messages from them, and I'm over here, I'm like, oh, maybe they want to get in contact. No, they're just trying to prove that they don't like the devil. That's all that
dude.
it is.
It's like, hey, how about you just live a life that opposes the devil?
Yeah.
Instead of like, the devil knows I hate him. I commented on Facebook. It's like, no, dude, piss off. That's not how this works.
I'd love to spend a day in their heads, or even just a scroll session in their heads. And
dude.
Because, in their mind, they have to be thinking like, okay, now God knows that I love him.
Now he knows. This moment right now he knows I love him. Man, that Facebook post. Man, deny him before man. I'm not denying him before my Facebook friends. Heck no. No, dude, oh man. Yeah. That's my brain itch. I'm tired of it, dude. I'm tired of attention seeking like that. Just put out good content and people will like it. That's just how it works. Imagine if 10,000 people. It's the same thing as do you see that video of the people in Walmart singing?
Oh yeah.
Bro. No.
So I had seen that before.
No.
And
no.
I really liked your take on it because it's not at all what I was thinking initially whenever I saw it. Whenever I saw it, I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's interesting.
Wow, I'm glad I ruined it for you.
You did, but in a good way.
Off.
In a good way. I was happy that you ruined it. It made me look at it in a different perspective.
Dude, it's performative Christianity.
Yeah.
It's, oh, man, because here's the thing. Here's my take when it comes to, like, reaching people for the gospel. I really don't like the street preachers. I despise them. I have yet to see a street preacher. Now there is one dude that I think does it well, but he has this very specific need. I don't remember what his name is, but I see his stuff on social media all the time.
Is that the guy that's always going to the schools and stuff?
Yeah, and he debates, public debates.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. You're publicly debating, and these people are able to talk back. That's awesome. At Sam Houston, there's a guy. I don't know if you remember. I don't know what his name was. But he was, I don't know what denomination. I would say like Pentecostal or some kind of
They talk about the
LDS.
preacher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either like some Pentecostal or some kind of LDS church he was from. But he used to always come and just yell preach at people. If you're a homosexual, you're going to heaven. Or, sorry, not heaven. Whoa, he didn't say that. You're going to hell. If you're having premarital sex, you're going to hell. If you look at a female, you're going to hell. It's like, dude, chill out, man. Chill. This is not how, and I'm like, okay. In my head, I would always walk by and I'd go, hey, bro, let me tell you something. This isn't how you win people for the gospel. No. Matter of fact, in the Bible, it says people will come to Jesus by the way we love each other. That's how people are going to know that we're Christians. Mm-hmm. It's by the way we love each other, not the way that I go up to a sinner and go, you're going to hell, buddy. It's not how it works. So I despise street preachers that do that. Because I'm like, dude, you are pushing people away. And I also view it in the sense of like, if you're going to go on the street corner and say that, your neighbors better know Jesus. If not, they better know you're a believer. Because I think it would be more beneficial instead of just scream preaching at people and maybe get one or two people that go, oh, I believe in Jesus. Let me come and do this thing and go, awesome. Now you believe, boom, boom, boom. You know, do the weird, I don't know, whatever. Congrats. Now you're a believer. Cool. All right. Well, scurry on. I'm going to yell at other people. I think it would be way more beneficial if we were to go to our neighbors' houses and just hang out with them, or them come to our house and just hang out with them, and then have it naturally come up in conversation. Oh, by the way, I believe in Jesus. And just naturally have those conversations, or naturally meet people places like in your work, or like just have it naturally happen, not in this grandiose, let me smack you upside the head with a Bible. I can't stand it, dude.
I mean, it's really simple. If someone doesn't believe something, telling them that they're going to be punished for that, or just for things that they're doing based off of something that they don't believe, how could you, in any sense of logic, expect that to do something?
I don't know. But there's people out there that like to do it.
It doesn't make sense.
No. It doesn't make sense at all.
I will be the first to say it's one thing if like you walk into your church and with all the people that are there regularly attending who you have a relationship with, and then they're doing something stupid. That's a totally different conversation.
That's not in public. That is a private situation.
Literally, everything about that is different.
Yes, like from the top down, you have a relationship with that person. I'm a firm believer in this. Either you have authority in someone's life, meaning you're a pastor, or you are a friend. There has to be relational equity and some level of pull that person is giving you in their lives to be able to go correct them. Or an elder in a church, and you go to that church.
Right.
That's how you have those conversations. I would not dare go up to somebody that I don't know and go, I saw on your Facebook last night that you scrolled past that post. You guess you want the devil to win. I'm not going to do that. First off, that's dumb. I wouldn't do that in the first place. But like a better example, if I saw a post of someone talking about, I'm going to the bar to get messed up tonight, I'm not going to, if I don't know that person, they're just someone that goes to the church, and I'm like, I know of you and you know of me, dude, I'm not going to go to him and go, I saw that post. Better get right with Jesus.
Right.
No, that's dumb. Freaking dumb, dude. No.
The way to go about it is simple, or not simple, simply just building relationships with people.
Done. That's it, dude.
All that it takes.
It's so easy. It's not, well, I say it's so easy, but it's much less complicated than people make it out to be.
Right.
For sure. So, bro, there's another thing I want to talk to you about.
Let's hear it.
It's another brain itch, kinda. It's kind of another brain itch. It's Christian nightclubs. Can't.
Okay.
First off, what's your take on him?
Whenever I think of a Christian nightclub, I think of altar boys bringing bottles of Martinelli to your booth.
I got that bubbly. I got that bubbly. I got that bubbly.
I can only imagine what the playlist is like. Ironically, I hope it's not. I can only imagine.
Hey, girl. Trying to go dance with me? The DJ's about to play I Can Only Imagine. Trying to throw back for a real one to I Can Only Imagine. I can only imagine. Like, no, dude, no. Nothing Mercy Me should be being played in that club. Please.
I'm just trying to think, like, literally. I'm literally thinking about, I mean, because, I've never been to a Christian nightclub. I have been to a normal nightclub. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about everything going on in there, but with Christian music in the background.
It just doesn't, 2 and 2 don't equal 4.
No.
No, not even close, dude.
Could you imagine seeing somebody, like, twerk to Mercy Me? Could you imagine that?
I don't know if I want to imagine that. I don't.
Oh no, man, it's kind of funny,
dude. Imagine asking somebody to go dance, to be like, hey man, they're about to play. What is that song? Promise Keeper.
Oh, Waymaker?
Yeah. Hey bro, they're about to play Waymaker. You trying to go dance with me? Yo, bro, they're about to play Waymaker. Let's hit that dance floor. Like no, don't get me wrong. Like they do have they're Caleb Gordon. Shout out, the dude makes great club bangers, right?
Oh, for
they
sure.
would bang in the club easy. There's a couple other guys too. But Caleb Gordon, I love that dude. So there is music, okay? There is. But listen, if you want to get hype, play that music at a youth group.
Oh, for sure.
And just get a bunch of black lights. Turn all the lights off and tell the kids to go crazy and just play that music there and just have fun. Like, what's the point of, you just took something secular and slapped Jesus' name on it and took the alcohol out. It's all you guys did.
Hopefully you did.
Supposedly, I did some reading. Supposedly, there's no alcohol and no secular music.
But
that's a big but right there, dude.
Well, this takes me back to high school, junior high. It's there's no alcohol, there's no weed, but what's going on in the bathroom? What's going on outside the front doors?
Yeah, dude. That there are some people that are like, Christian nightclub. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna pull up, and they're just pulling up for trouble.
Oh yeah.
That's the part for me where I'm like, maybe. It boils down, the scripture, just because it's permissible doesn't mean it's beneficial.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Christian nightclubs, biblically, permissible. But is it beneficial? Probably not.
No.
I would say probably not.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, unless if you are just so insanely secure in your faith that if you walked in and saw that something, just something wrong was going on, that you had the willpower to leave. Now, the way I see it is that the kind of people that would be attracted into going to a Christian nightclub are probably the ones who are on the fence and likely to be influenced into doing the wrong thing.
Bro just said everyone going to the nightclub's lukewarm.
That's the exact passage I was thinking about. You were 100% right.
I know, dude. I know. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that. I thought you were gonna say people going to the Christian nightclubs are single. I'm like, yeah, they probably are, dude. They probably are. They're probably going. That's probably you know what? That's probably the draw of the Christian nightclubs. Let's get a bunch of Christians together so they can meet each other and date and marry.
Well,
it's a club is where you want to do that at.
The people who whenever you're slow dancing with each other, they'll come and separate you and say, leave room for Jesus.
Oh,
those are the couples that are at Christian nightclubs.
Oh,
that has to be.
Do you think that on staff they have chaperones that sit on the edges of the nightclub and they're like, whoa, hey, make room for Jesus? Do you think that's?
Mom, I didn't know you were volunteering tonight.
Since when did you get on staff at the Christian nightclub, Mom? All right, what do you think some of these Christian nightclubs are named?
Oh, man.
Holy Fire Nightclub.
I am the neon light.
Righteous Fury nightclub.
Fire bangers by night.
Fire bangers by night. Oh, that was good, dude. Dude, Christian nightclubs are so weird, dude. Man, I want to just go and be like, hey, just go get plugged into a young adults group.
Straight up.
Just go get plugged into a young adults ministry. You're going to be taken way more seriously at one of those, man.
Oh, 100%.
Especially these people are like, I'm trying to find my future husband. Oh, the club?
It doesn't matter who's sponsoring the club. You're at a club.
Yeah, dude. Doesn't matter. You're at a club. You think you're going to meet someone there? I saw a video, though, of one of the Christian nightclubs. Dude, first off, okay, I gotta keep my composure. I gotta be able to deliver details without laughing. So it was a church sanctuary. They cleared out all the seats. The DJ is in the middle of the room, and listen, it's a big room, and there's maybe 50 people, all packed into the middle, dancing and jumping up as much as they can. And and they don't do a good job with the cameras because you can see all the empty space.
Right, like there was no zoom in whatsoever.
No zoom. It was like, here's a big room. Here's a tiny dot where they're at. And it was like, I remember seeing that going. And the thing is in the video, it was to sell, like, you should come. Mm-hmm. So, like, everyone's jumping up and down with their phones. Like people were jumping up and down with their phone lights on, just going, like, and I'm like, bro, you know you're not videoing. You know you're not videoing right now. It's just your phone lights on. So what are you doing? Oh, man. Christian nightclubs from Not a Safe Place podcast. Wrong. No, not wrong. No, I should change my words. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's not a wrong idea. It's a bad idea.
The
Please
intention
stop.
was good. The result was stupid.
Oh, for sure. Look me in the eyes right now. Look at me. For thinking about going to a Christian nightclub, look at me in the eyes. Look. Forgive your dad. Forgive your parents, please.
Just not where I thought you were going with that.
Hey, just keep looking. Look at me in the eyes. Just keep looking. Right here. Just me and you. Forgive your parents, please. Go get some counseling. All right, next topic.
That's not at all where I thought you were going.
Episode 1, we may get canceled. This is great. I know some great counselors. I know some great ones. Man. Yeah. Nope. Big ol' X through the through the Christian clubs.
It's a no from me, Howie.
So we have me and you have an adamant frustration towards the same group of people.
Yeah.
We do. You know what? No, we're gonna hold that one.
Okay.
We're gonna hold that one.
I was gonna say we're really getting into it right now.
We can't get into that first episode, dude. We can't get into it. Okay. So, we're not getting into that first episode, Jake. Okay. I saw your eyes. You were trying to push me there, weren't you? Like,
I was just surprised that you were going there. I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
I can't do that, dude. Like, not now. Not now.
4-hour pod for our first episode. I see.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. Not yet. We'll talk about them later.
Beware. We're coming.
Beware.
After
it's
you.
Coming. Be incredibly careful.
You probably don't hear from the Holy Spirit, but if you did, you know we're coming after you.
You're making me want to go there.
I know. I'm really feeling it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
We're not.
All right, throwing the ball back to your court, Jake. Tell us about your neighbor. Tell us about your neighbor, Jake.
So we're going here tonight,
We're going there. We're going to hold off on that other one.
So whenever I was 22, I got a stripper to fall in love with me, and this is how it happened.
Oh, man. All right. I may have laughed way all over everything that you were just saying.
Oh, well, they're about to hear the full extent of it.
I want to hear it. Let's tell me the full story. Go. I want to hear it. I want to hear the full
So,
story.
Okay, so I was leaving my apartment to go work out one day, and I had this shirt on, and like it says redeemed across the front and the Bible verse on the back. And so, like, the way that my hallway is set up, there's 4 apartments, and the stairwell is on the other, like, the long side of the hallway. So I have to pass all these apartments to get to the stairs.
Right.
And this dude walks out of, like, the apartment totally opposite from me, right by the stairs, sees my shirt, sees that it's a verse and everything. And so we start, talking about God. He's telling me just mildly about his faith and, just asking me about mine.
Yeah.
After like a minute conversation, we part ways. I go work out. And as I'm coming back, I learned that he is basically helping his stepdaughter move into her apartment, like he and his wife are.
Nice.
Burt break.
Burt break. Dude, listen, it's a real thing.
Oh, 100%. And so they are like, they're getting stuff out of the U-Haul and about to take it up. And so I walked over since I was right there. I was like, hey, y'all need me to help you with the load? And so, I helped them take a load upstairs. And then we go back outside, me, him, and his wife. And we start talking a bit more in depth. I start telling him about Refuge and, just about the young adults group, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we get super deep. We start talking about some other things like spiritual gifts and everything. But the one thing that really stuck out to me the most was not just what he said, it was how many times he said it and like the way he was saying it. He was like
Interesting.
talking about his stepdaughter who moved in. He was like she really needs some prayer. Like, I really need you to pray for her.
Hey, bro, she really needs prayer.
Literally.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Spot on.
Really needs prayer. That's never a good sign.
No.
That's never a good sign.
And this is my new neighbor. I'm concerned.
Yeah, and also, like, dude, you just met me.
Yeah.
Hey, I know I just met you. I don't know anything about you. My stepdaughter really needs prayer. Okay, dude.
Right.
Dang, you should be praying for her then,
So this little detail, I will expand more on it later.
Okay.
Because that could honestly be taken to a totally different conversation.
Oh, dude.
But it's
we
an
could
important
tangent
detail.
on that one.
He asked me how old I am. And I'm like, I'm 22. And they're like, oh, okay, like, she's 21. And, just kind of like insinuated, like, okay, like, maybe there could be a future there or something.
Oh.
And I'm like, it was just
That's weird.
It was yes.
Weird
it was just the way.
conversation,
It was just the
buddy.
way that they said it. And
Hey, she needs a lot of prayer, and I'm about to tell her to start falling in love with you. So
literally,
start praying now.
Literally,
pray up now, Buckaroo.
So while we were talking, she was inside, and while we were talking, she walks outside with her dog to take her dog for a walk, and. Sorry, I just got totally distracted by something on the screen. And so I knew that she had a dog. A few days later, just because I knew she had a dog, I didn't want to go knock on the door and dog start barking and just ruin her day. Maybe
Absolutely.
she's taking a nap or something. And so I just wrote a note basically saying like, hey, my name's Jake. I live across the hall. Welcome to the neighborhood. If you're looking for a church, there's one down the road that I go to. I also have a young adults group. I'm aware that we're similar age.
Yeah.
And if you need anything, knock on my door.
First off, pause. Just pause. Time out. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. Hey, know you're new here? I'm just going to send you a nice letter. What a gentleman.
Nobody really welcomed me when I moved in. So I was
that sucks.
Not until I found out a dude I went to college with lives there, but that was just by happens chance.
Yeah.
And so I knew that it would have felt pretty good if somebody would have come and introduce themselves. So I was like, hey, I'll do the same. I know you just moved in.
Just applause, man. That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it. Thanks.
Wow.
I don't take compliments well.
No, you don't.
Y'all will see
So
that.
that's why I'm giving him a compliment.
I'm trying so hard to just be chill right now.
Yeah, I know. You're like trying to crawl out of your skin.
Yeah.
It's like, he's saying nice things about me. I think I just need to. Wow. Bathroom break. Pause real
Yep.
quick.
Straight up.
Do we have ads yet? Or are we sponsored? I think we need to get to our sponsored ads.
It's like, we'll be right back.
Let me process this compliment. We'll be right back.
We will
Insert
resume tomorrow.
sponsor ad here.
Yes. So a few days after I drop off that letter, or really a note, it was like half a page.
Right.
But I get a text from her because I also put my phone number on there.
Mhm.
I'm gone from my apartment like almost 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping in there 8. So I'm really just available for like a few hours.
Right.
And so, she, just starts a conversation and it's just like, hey, thanks for the note. Appreciate that. And I mean, really just kind of like, started a little friendship. I mean,
Solid.
if that's what you want to call it, like we just started texting
An
back and forth.
acquaintanceship.
Yeah, an acquaintanceship.
It's a word that we need to coin.
And so, in that she asked me, she's like, so what do you do for work? I'm like, oh, I work in construction.
Yeah.
I work down in Houston. And so I asked her, like, what do you do for work? And she's like, and all she says is like, oh yeah, I work at a club. So I'm thinking a few things.
Bartender.
Bartender,
Yeah.
bottle girl, like,
Yeah.
that kind, just that kind of stuff. So I'm just like, okay. I mean, regardless, you're working at a club. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Not ideal. Not a good
not
idea.
ideal.
But okay.
Yeah.
All right. Get
Just
it.
like, hey, listen, I get it. Tips.
Hey, listen,
tips
pays
make
the
good
bills,
money.
gotcha. Okay. All right, whatever.
And so, a couple days after that, she texts me and is basically like, hey, I just want to like be honest with you. Like,
Pause. We're 3 days into this acquaintanceship.
sounds about right.
And she's like, listen. Okay, I'm not going to. Nope, keep talking. Sorry.
Okay.
Keep talking. I just needed to point it out. 3 days.
Oh, trust
And
me.
she's like,
It's going to get a lot weirder.
Oh.
A lot weirder.
Oh, oof.
So she's like, I got to be honest. Like, I don't just work at a club. I'm a dancer. And just for the sake of having fun with the conversation, I was like, what
do you
kind of dancer? Yeah,
mean?
what do you mean? What kind of dancer?
Are you work at one of those Christian clubs?
Oh, dude, what is that thing called that they did at youth camp? I'm trying to remember the name
I
of
didn't
this
know they had
dance.
choreographed dancers at
Right.
the Christian nightclub.
Did you do the Cupid shuffle or something?
Do you know how to do the church clap?
That's what I was looking for. That's what I was
the
looking
church
for.
clap.
Yes.
Dude, that song, honestly, it's another song that needs to go die.
100%.
There needs to be another.
I hated it the first time I heard it.
Yeah, church clap. I was like, all right, Lecrae, I know you're making your money off of it, dude.
Yeah.
You're getting played at all the summer camps.
Lecrae has so many other more amazing songs.
Oh, for sure.
You could do it without
Easy.
one, buddy.
Easy. For the time that it came out, it was good.
For sure.
But it's outlived.
For like a month.
It's getting.
Yeah. So I ask her, I'm like, what do you mean? What kind of dancer are you? And she says, exotic.
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 That is the nicest way of saying I take my clothes off for a living.
100%.
That is the
100%.
nicest way of saying that.
Whenever I was like 6, 7, and like I would hear a term like that, like exotic dancer, I was like, oh, you're like a belly dancer from India?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, you have great abdomen control.
Right.
And belly dancing's weird, Sorry.
Now,
Sorry to all my belly dancers out there. It's a little bit different.
But kind of
Hence-
similar. She has a lot of core strength.
I don't know how to respond to that.
That's fair.
Oh man, that was good. That was a good one, Jake.
Thank you.
I remember I remember as a kid, I was taking karate. Um and I can't remember. I think it was after at the studio that I was going to karate at. After the karate lessons were over, they had a belly dancing class. So I remember like all of these like Indian women and like that one white woman, right? That's like,
Yes.
I'm here to learn. It's like, oh, no, you're not. Shut up. You're just bored and your cats at home don't like you. We'll get into that later, buddy.
Yeah, so we will.
So, anyways, sorry. They would all like come walking in, and you would hear like the of like all the plastic like little beads and everything. I remember looking at them going, as a kid, like, what the heck is going on? Like, are they about to like? In my head, I was like, oh, someone must be having a birthday. You know what I mean? Wow. Every week a birthday? This is crazy. No.
And it's
No.
the same ladies coming
It's
to.
the same. Wow. Lots of birthdays.
And it's like the professional mourners in biblical days, but for people that don't have people that come to their birthday party, you just hire these women to come.
That's honestly kind of a lucrative business. Maybe
Oh,
we
yeah.
should do that. Put an ad on Craigslist. Hey, $50 and I'll show up at your birthday dressed up as Spider-Man.
Or a belly dancer.
I don't have that kind of that. No, I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it.
I can slightly move my hips. That's about it.
I got the white man hip moving. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Full body.
Hey, it's a full body move, just led by the hips.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we tangents here. All right, so
Exotic dancer.
exotic dancer lady.
And after she says that, she's like, I hope that doesn't like totally weird you out. Like, are you still cool? It was like, I mean, I don't remember the exact words that I said, but I basically was just like, like, listen,
Yeah,
like,
we're chill.
yeah, we're fine. Like, I'm not gonna just completely shun you because of this. Like,
Yeah,
and to that, she responds with basically, because, obviously she comes from a somewhat Christian household.
right.
And so she's like, basically, oh, yeah, all these people judge me. Every time I step foot in the church, they always got something to say, blah, 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 blah. And I pretty much responded with, I was like, yeah, that's BS. Like, that's really
That
dumb.
is. It really it do be.
Yeah. Like, and so I believe this is where things went wrong because, like, I essentially kind of sided with her. I was like, yeah,
the church is wrong for treating you that way.
Yeah,
And that is 100% valid.
for sure. And of course, like, to that, she's like, oh my gosh, like, I've never met anybody
my
like this. Like,
goodness.
like, that's truly
My knight in
surprising.
shining armor.
Yeah. And so with this comes day after day, hour after hour of like, hey, how are you doing? Like, just trying to initiate something. And honestly, like, for the most part, I was just like, hey, listen, like, you need a friend, and I'm probably the only person who's like, this feels like I'm bragging, but like I'm not. Like, I'm probably the only person secure in their faith
Dang,
that's
dude.
around you.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. Mister, I can't take a compliment, but I'll brag on myself. Okay.
My pride is insecure.
Listen, if we were in a reformed church, you wouldn't be speaking right now. Pride. Smelling pride on you. Put the microphone down. 6 months away from the microphone because of pride. You hear that?
I'll buy this microphone.
There's a bunch of reformed churches. I can't remember. There's one reformed pastor that was like, he goes, my pride was getting to me. I had to step down for 6 months. And I'm like, or how about you just die to self in position and lead your church through that?
Yeah.
Instead of just walking away.
Lead by example. Don't just, even bad examples can be good examples.
Yeah. So now you're going
Or-
to walk away and put a strain on the rest of your staff because you couldn't kill pride when it first popped up? Sounds like a weak person to me.
Should you be up there in the first place?
You said it, not me. Hey,
I'll say it
Calvinists,
again.
get them.
Should you be up there in the first place?
I get it. Like sometimes, like taking some time to be like, all right, listen, like my pride is getting a little big, right? I get it, but that's something that I think he robbed his church of walking through it with him, where it's like, this is how you kill your pride. Now let's all do it together. Instead of, I'm going to go walk away for however many months and you guys aren't going to see me. So
It's one thing if like pride came up and the Lord told you, like, hey, it's time for you to step down from this position, but 6 months is not long enough. Like,
no.
that, like, if you step down for 6 months and then you come back, that just tells me, like, okay, so this was all under your thinking and doing.
Yeah. If you want to kill your pride, hire some dude to come in and speak, or have one of your staff members come and speak, and go serve in the children's ministry one Sunday.
Yeah.
Talk about humble, dude. Go serve in the youth group. Get humbled real quick.
If you have not served in a youth group, you cannot assume that you know anything about serving in a youth group.
Oh, you can't. No. It's so different.
Like, you may have gone to youth whenever you were one, but you have no idea
No idea.
the
It's so much fun.
insanity of what goes on to actually being in it.
Oh, dude. It's so much fun.
It's
so much
amazing. It's wonderful. Like, yeah. I want to pull my hair out sometimes, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Oh yeah. For you listeners who don't know, I'm in youth ministry. I'm the youth director here at Refuge Church, and Jake is the small group leader for the 7, 8, 9 boys, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade boys, and that group is a rowdy group. It is them boys.
Their voices are still high enough that they can actually scream.
Yes. Yeah, but they have the enough testosterone to where it's like, we're competing right now.
Oh yeah.
It's like, we're battling.
Screaming contests have happened.
Oh,
and it's like just a wall away is where the 10, 11, 12 boys are. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on.
They're talking about some real stuff, and like in here, it's like, hey man, what do you need to give to Jesus? Well, I told someone in Wobox that they sucked, and maybe I shouldn't say that anymore. It's like, oh, okay, buddy. You shouldn't. You're right. I don't want to discount what you're saying, but in the other room, we have a group of boys and girls, like basically everyone else, talking about, yeah, bro, I'm struggling with porn.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I told someone to suck it in Wobox today. I shouldn't have done that. It's like, okay, bro. All right, you got it, man. that was a long tangent.
Where even are we?
I don't know. We need a roadmap. Okay, so we're she was texting you constantly.
Okay, yeah. And so okay, that's where we were. So basically, I'm just like, I may be the only good influence that you have in your life right now. So I'm going to keep you there. Just like keep this acquaintanceship going. And at the time, still do. It just hasn't started back up yet. But at the time, I was leading the young adults group. And she falls within that age range. And so like I just started inviting her, like just kind of like week after week.
Right.
And I think this only went on for like 2 or 3 weeks, but I just kept on inviting her to come, and then finally she did one day, which is pretty sick. Just because
that's all that matters, dude.
I can't
Shows
imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine how weird and uncomfortable that's got to be for her.
Yeah.
So talk about shedding some pride.
Yeah. That is the piece where I have to go, okay. That was yes, you did a good job. You showed up.
Dude, like super proud. Yeah, and then things got weird.
As they always do.
Things got weird. So this particular young adults group, or like this particular day that she showed up, wasn't like any like normal one. This
Right.
was like a Friendsgiving one. So like we didn't even really
Yeah, there wasn't.
we didn't
no
even
one
go
was
or
sharing a
anything.
word particularly. It was just more of let's just all hang out.
Yeah. I mean literally all we did was just hang out, talk, eat a fake Thanksgiving meal, and then we did a little bit of trivia on the TV, like on YouTube. And yeah, it was just really weird. I mean, the night was fun, but like everything that kind of went on in there was really weird. So after I'm trying to like gather everything. It's honestly been a while since I've talked about this, but so after I leave, like just after everything's over that day, she's texting me and is basically like like one of the girls like looked at me weird or whatever, and
Yeah.
like I'm just hearing whispers and stuff going around. Just I mean, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
Dang. It's hard.
Yeah.
Oh, so pause. We're gonna pause real quick.
Let's pause.
One of the rules on the podcast is self-editing. So there is no snipping things. Oh, I said something I shouldn't have. Well, then you should have thought of that.
If you're listening to this and you hear like one of like the censor like beep, just know it was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you need to ask God for forgiveness for what just happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, it's not a safe place.
No, not even
Okay.
close.
There is no topic that is safe. We're going to talk about it. Like how Jake had a stripper fall in love with him. Anyways, please continue.
Yes. So there's just yip, just a bunch of little talking stuff going, and she's like, like, oh, these girls looked at me weird and made me uncomfortable. Come to find out after just like individually talking to these people, because one of the responsibilities when you lead a group is to shut down any sort of
Right.
like that kind of stuff as best as you can.
Yeah.
You can't control what people are doing outside the group, but if
No,
it's
but
happening
inside the
within,
group you can.
yeah, inside, yes. So just like over the next couple of days, I'm like individually talking to people, just trying to make sure like what happened, and I'm starting to realize like things didn't go down like she was saying.
She was looking for reasons to get hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew that like in that like what you just said added up perfectly, because after she had told me like what happened,
Mm-hmm.
she said she was like, I'm never going to another church or another group again.
All right.
And so
Jumping
at that
off
point,
the deep end. Okay.
oh yeah. So at that point, like if you're gonna look at it as like a traffic light metaphor, I saw a yellow light big time, because I was like, okay, like yellow light in the sense of I don't know if I should slam on the gas or slam on the brakes
Yeah.
and
Whether
turn
you're
right.
saying this
Yeah.
to get some kind of attention from me, or if you're actually being serious.
Right. And so this is when it goes down. Actually, no, this is part one to like this is like the Deathly Hallows part one.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I'm hanging out at my place, and honestly, dude, timing was impeccable. I had no food. And it was just one of those where it was like I could either go to the store or I can just not eat tonight. And she texted me. Yeah.
I could just not eat.
It's not because I'm broke, it's because I'm lazy.
I just don't want to leave.
Yeah,
Dude, I understand. You could just, it's like, listen, it's a Saturday evening or a Friday evening. I don't want to leave. I'm chilling.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to go.
I mean, sometimes my drive from work in the afternoon, like coming from inside of Houston, just at that time, they can be up to 2 hours sometimes.
Jeez.
And so if I don't remember to go to the store on the way home, there's very little chance I'm getting back in my truck.
Yeah, true.
And so she reaches out. She's like, "Hey, like I just ordered pizza. If you're like, if you're down, you can come over, hang out, and have some."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, cool. Like, sure,
Pizza. Sure.
pizza. Let's do it. I love pepperoni."
Oof.
And so I get over there, and like, she's making, herself like, a bunch of mixed drinks and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I'm not even gonna lie, like, I had a beer before I even knew I was going over there.
Right.
Long day at work, guys.
I can hear all the Baptists yelling
Oh, yeah.
and shutting us off right now.
Yangling is a sin.
Jesus didn't drink wine. He drank grape juice. Okay, go read your Bible again, please. Thank
Yes,
you.
please. I've never
Coming
seen...
for the smoke, you Baptists. That's not good. Oh, well, self-editing. I said it. Sorry, guys.
No, I love
I love
it.
you, Baptists. I have some quarrels with you.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other...
That's
a whole other...
That's an episode.
I would give y'all a sneak peek of this real quick. It's not you Baptists that I have a problem with. It's all you denominations that I have a problem with. And it's not you people. It's what you believe.
Dang, dude. All right, fine. We got it.
Yeah.
All right. You said it.
Oh, man.
You said it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'll
Send
take the reins
him
on
the
that
emails. Don't send them to me. We only have one email, so I have to read them too. Dang it. Look what you've done.
I almost just said my personal name.
Don't do it. Please
I will
don't.
not do that.
Please don't. Hey, if you have a problem with anything that we're saying, please send a lovely email to notasafeplacepod@gmail.com. That is not a safe place. Not a safe place pod@gmail.com. And someone, either one of us, will get back to you very shortly. And if, it's a funny thing that you said, we'll even talk about it on the pod. Remember, it's not a safe place pod@gmail.com.
Not a safe place pod@gmail.com.
Standard carrier rates apply.
Shipping and handling not included.
May cause liver failure.
Oh, man.
Don't email while pregnant. We've just
You ever seen the
jumped
side-
through all the commercials.
Have you ever seen the side effects where, like, one of the side effects, or one of the commercials, one of the side effects is, like, anal bleeding? I'm like, if there's any side effect that would make me not take your drug, it is that one. Oh, okay, listen.
Hey, bro. We're going to pause there. Pause. We're not skipping over that. Hey, man, you dealing with depression? Take this med. By the way, it may make you bleed out your butt. But hey, you won't be sad about it anymore. What the heck?
I think that's like distraction theory. It's like, it's not curing your depression at all. It's just making you think about something else.
This
And-
medication only makes you bleed out your butt. That's it.
Do you ever see those commercials? Well, and it's the wording that gets me every
Okay.
time. And typically it's like whenever it starts. And it's like, have you or someone you know died from using this? I'm like, if I died from using this, how am I going to be here to watch the commercial? Like,
Are you playing these in a cemetery for people to not hear, or what are you doing here, buddy? Yeah. It's like have you ever heard of, I don't even know where I got this from. My mom says it all the time. She goes, I could have been killed or even worse. It's like, what's worse? You died. That kind of gives
Right.
me the same energy there. If you or a loved one has died, yeah, it's the wording there. It's like, okay.
yeah, I just think that people should really, listen to the things that they do before
Yes.
publishing it on national TV.
Of course.
Okay, so
Let's hop back on this train here. I feel like we're
So-
just getting off and like looking at the butterflies, and then we're gonna get back on the train.
100%. Just a heads up, this is not abnormal. This is exactly how our conversations go. And the fact that we've been able to keep coming back to this topic,
It's impressive, actually.
it is. Like, usually
Typically,
we just let it go.
Yeah, typically we would have lost it as soon as we started talking about Calvinists. We would have been gone.
100%.
Yeah, no more talking about your exotic dancer next door neighbor.
Yeah.
But we have to listen.
We will.
Listen. We have to finish this.
Okay, so I go over for pizza, and she is getting drunk in the process of
Good.
just like while we're hanging out and everything.
All good decisions happen when you're intoxicated, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
good.
That's when the best decisions come about.
Yeah, smartest, right?
And so during all of this, I don't even remember how it came up, but basically, like in a non-rude way, I basically just started like grilling her about what she believes. Um, like we were having a civil conversation, but it was one of those, and we've all met people like this where it's like, okay, like, so do you believe in Jesus? It's like, yeah, like, I believe. I just don't really believe that, like, a loving God would send someone to hell. And I'm like,
Wrong answer.
yep, wrong answer.
Read your Bible.
It's like a just God would.
Listen, for him to be a loving God, he has to be a just God.
Oh, for sure.
He cannot be loving and not be just. Because if he was loving and not just, he would be a terrible God.
Right.
Same way as if he was just and not loving, he'd be a terrible God. But he is just, loving, he's everything. Ooh-wee. Yeah. All right, we can get on that tangent for a while, but we're going to stop that one. We're getting focused tonight, baby.
We really are.
I'm in keto. I'm focused. Not really. Not anymore.
I had ramen before I came here.
You had what?
Ramen.
Oh.
Pretty good.
Dang, you put an egg in that ramen?
No. All my eggs are expired.
Throw them away.
Yeah.
You just holding on to them?
If there's one thing that I get kind of lazy about, it's like cleaning out my fridge.
Oof.
But there's not much in there.
Okay.
So, like, if I cleaned it out, it's like almost empty.
You ought to just take those rotten eggs and put them on her front door.
Oh, gosh.
Got you something.
I was at the store and thinking about you. Thought you might need some eggs. Oh man, but yeah. So we're talking. We're basically just getting down. That was a bad phrase.
Getting down.
So
I hope you weren't getting down, fool. What the mess?
We're getting. We're
the
basically
first I
just
heard of this. Getting down, okay, buddy.
Man. So basically, we're having this really deep conversation on just like, what do you believe? What do I believe? Sorry, I thought it cut out for a second.
No.
And it's just one of those where it's like, like, I don't know, like, how accurate the Bible is, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And long story short, she throws that entire conversation out the window and proceeds to, like, I'm trying to decide what order I want to put these details in.
Yeah.
But, like, she proceeds to, in, like, a very drunken haze, essentially just, like, start to corner me. Because, like, whenever someone's getting, like, too close to you, and so you, like, shuffle your feet back a little bit, like, big enough steps that you're making progress, but, like, small enough that it's not obvious that, like, you're trying to get away, until my back hits the wall. And she is,
dang, dude,
like, literally, like, basically just trying to get in my pants. And yeah, just trying so hard to do that.
We need a soundboard.
Before you buzz this,
Okay.
I got something even, like,
it gets worse.
She wasn't just trying to have sex with me.
Oh.
Well, she was, but, like, that's not, like, all the, like, the context of her, like, her dialogue was.
Okay.
She proceeded to tell me that she loved me 3 times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's like, I love you. I love you. Come on, just stay the night. Just stay over. We're neighbors. It's inevitable. Come on. Why don't you want me? I'm like,
dude, this is really freaky. That's weird, dude.
You think? I was there.
That's oh yeah, you think it's weird? I was there, dude. I can't even imagine. I'd be like, who are you? You don't love me? Oh, I don't even. I'm trying to compute in my brain
Yeah.
how I would even respond to that.
I'm, I'm
Because I wouldn't
pretty.
just be like, no, you don't love me. Like I would have to say something. Like in my head, I'm like, what is something that sounds like it would be nice, but would like put her down also at the same time?
So, I mean, you know how my personality is, and that's
Oh,
basically
I
what I
get it.
said.
Easy. Yeah, you're saying you love me, but you've loved everybody.
That's not quite what I said. I went like the ultra gracious route
Oh, good look at you.
of just being like, you don't even know my last name. There's no way you could possibly love
Mm.
like
Okay, that's
like
that's
we
nicer than what I
this
would. Than
might
I,
be like the
you know.
second time that we've seen each other in person ever. You don't love me. Like you're drunk and just like super attracted, I guess, but like you don't love me. So don't say that.
Ooh, girl,
'Cause that's just weird. Like
that's weird,
like
man.
I've like I mean, this was in like
I've
high
never seen a
school.
flag more red in my entire life.
Oh yeah. I mean like I dated a girl in high school and after like a week she told me that she loved me and I was like, "Okay, I got to do something about this." That was weird.
That's a problem.
It was a
Hey,
problem,
hey, look at me, camera. Look at me. Forgive your dad. Okay.
straight up. Um
In this case, forgive your stepdad.
yes, for sure. For sure. Um okay, so there's that and I'll save that part for the end. Now we're in the Deathly Hallows part 2.
Oh, part two.
And I want to say I'm trying to remember everything. I think that this had kind of gone into two different conversations,
Okay.
but oh yeah, actually no. I'll finish the Hallows part 1. Basically, I was just having to be like, okay, listen, like I'm trying to put together a coffee table and it is all over my apartment. I
Mhm.
have to leave. Like it's one of those where yeah,
I gotta go walk my fish and feed my grandma. Bye.
yeah. And then she's like, well, I can come help you put it together. I was like, you have like tripped over your own feet several times. You are not going to be putting screws into
No,
wood. Like, just
no,
not how
that
this
that ain't
goes.
happening. It's just not happening.
And moral of the story, I'm trying to get out of there.
Oh, for
And I'm trying
sure.
to get out
Trying to
fast.
evacuate.
Yes, 100%. And so then, like, sometime down the road, she's texting me and basically just kind of going on like the same exact mindset of how she was in like
Right.
in that day, and it's basically like like, hey, so what are we gonna get started? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like
Started with what?
at this
Started
point,
you reading the Bible right now?
so
What up?
at this point, like I start to get just very blunt and honest, and I'm basically
Oof.
having to say because she was like I'm trying to be kind. She's like,
Of course.
hey, just take me out on a date. I'm like, there's never gonna be an
What?
us. Like us is
I
not
feel
a
like
thing.
it's forgive your dad.
Straight up.
Forgive him. Because like I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this. I'm like, she's asking you to take her on a date.
Yeah.
That's a red flag. It's like, hey, pay me attention now. Oh, that's
Yeah.
just weird. That's a weird one. For the context in which your acquaintanceship is. That's weird.
It was very strange. Yeah. I mean, I've been in like relationships before where it's like, hey, it's been a while since we've been on a date. Could we go do something soon? Totally different.
Different ball game because y'all have entered into a mutual relationship.
But
You're
this is like we're
mutually
barely
dating.
friends.
Yeah, you're barely friends and you tried to have sex with me.
Yeah.
No. The answer's no.
After a very clear conversation on my views about all of this. Because like we talked about like, sex
Very
before marriage,
clear.
living with each other before marriage, like all that kind of stuff. Like
Right.
she asked me questions. I answered all of them.
Good.
And like, even when it got down into abortion and all that kind of stuff. homosexuality. Like, she wanted all the smoke. I gave it. And
Man. Want all that smoke.
all of it.
All that smoke.
And so, like, she proceeds to basically just be texting me and is like, I think at one point I literally was just like, "You're just trying to seduce me," and she was like, "Yeah, so." Uh,
She admitted to it?
have you read Proverbs? Talks about a seductress. I met her. I don't know how else to explain this.
Dude. That's insane. Here's the craziest thing. So I told this whole story to the staff.
Really?
I did. It was actually really funny. Yeah, it was really funny. So I told him, I was like, I told him about at first I didn't tell him it was you. I was like, yeah, there's a guy that I know and this happened, and I was specifically getting around to a point that we'll get to here in a little bit, but today, or no, this past Tuesday we were at staff meeting and someone was like, who is that girl that went down and sat next to Jake's mom? And one of my coworkers, man, Shannon, she's like, was that the stripper?
Shannon, that was not the stripper.
Dude, I geeked when she said that. I was like, no. I was like, no, that's not who that was. And then of course there was somebody who was here that wasn't a part of staff and didn't hear that part of the story. And so I had to like abruptly say it really quickly. Like or like give an abridged version.
Right.
And they were like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it is weird. And I was making eye contact with actually I wasn't making eye contact with him. Well, yeah, obviously we were having a conversation. We were making eye contact, but I was walking over to where our worship leader is, Randy, and he was me and him were like chuckling about it. And he goes, dude, if like of everyone that the Lord is gonna place in a situation like this, it's Jake. Like, of everyone, it has to be him. And me and him were just both laughing because we're like, dude, when we were lost men, that would have been like the dream. You're telling me that I'm living next to a stripper?
Oh, dude, just like
whose
3 years
job
ago.
is to make men fall and seduce them? As a lost guy, that would have been like the dream. Oh, and she likes me? Oh, that would have been the dream. But now it's like, that sounds like a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Some weird lady trying to like get in my pants? No, dude.
It's a nightmare
Please
just being
no.
acquaintances.
Dude, I can only imagine.
I can only imagine. No, you're right though.
There's
Because
so
like
many
just
jokes. There's so many jokes. The moment of silence for all the jokes that I can't say. Okay, moment's over.
Yeah, no. I mean, just a few years ago for me, like same boat. Like that would have been the best thing in the world. But yeah, no, just not about that anymore.
No, dude.
No. And
There's so much better.
So she's she's trying to just seduce me and everything. And then finally, I just kind of go off a little bit. I'm just like, listen, like you have already made it clear that you're not going to another group or church ever again.
Right.
My wife will be a part of my church and will most likely be assisting
Future
me.
wife.
Yes.
Wife. He's not
Yes.
married.
No. Yeah, no, not married. And will most likely be assisting me in whatever kind of group that I have going on if I
Absolutely.
have a group, or will at least be going to group with me. And I was like, you've made it clear that you're not going to be a part of this. Therefore, you're out of.
You're a waste of my time now.
I just
From
said
a dating
therefore.
perspective. Yeah.
I just mixed ergo and therefore.
Aragon.
So Aragon.
Really big books.
Yes.
Never read them.
Haven't either.
Every time I hear someone say ergo, I always think of Aragon. And I'm like, crazy book. It looks great. The cover looks great. Never going to read it, though. Sorry. My brain associates really weird things together.
Oh, I'm the same way. I could go 50 miles away on a topic just because of one word you said, and there's a connection for each of them. It's just a chain.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, I basically told her I was like, you know, because she even asked, she was like, "Is it because of my job?" And it's like, honestly, it's not just because of your job.
That's a
Like
factor,
the
a big one.
I told her, I was like, it's your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like it's how you live your life. It's what you see in your future. Like, have you ever heard of a because like, let's just say that like, I was to be a pastor or something. It's not necessarily like I'm not saying like, oh, like one day I'm gonna be a pastor. But that is kind of the direction I'd say
It's the
like
direction you're moving.
yeah, at least in some sort of ministry position. And so I was like, have you ever heard of a pastor who's married to a stripper? I haven't. And if I did, I would not be going to that church by any means. The point is that I pretty much just had to lay it down and basically just be like, listen, there is no chance. Like, because she's even asking me, like, what do I have to do to get you to date me? I was like, change
Fall in love
everything.
with Jesus more than you claim to love me.
100%. And so, yeah, through all this, like, she's still my neighbor. Like whenever her balcony faces the parking lot that I have to park in, so like just because of that, like I still run into her, and
Yeah, it's gonna be
um,
unfortunate.
it's awkward just because I basically had to tell her to buzz off,
Hey,
with
buzz
truth and
off.
grace,
Of course,
but
of course, of course.
um, yeah, I mean, still like I'm not this person that's gonna like block her from like being able to reach out to me
Of course.
because and you actually brought this up to me one day um is that I may be the only good spiritual influence in her life, so therefore if one day like something just like everything just falls apart and she realizes that she needs this Jesus, she's gonna ask somebody about it.
She's gonna go to the next. She's gonna go to the very last person she remembers that knows who Jesus is,
Right.
or knows something.
And honestly, I think that that's just super important to take away. This is not a
Mhm.
sermon,
No, but we about to get
guys,
there, son. I'm trying
but
to find a scripture.
oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just letting all you guys know at home that this is not a sermon, but if you're going to take anything away from this is that
Be
no but
nice to strippers.
yeah,
Which is honest. Okay, so let me. Okay, so there's a
go for
church
it.
that we were a part of when we were in Seabrook, Texas. The church's name was City Mark. Shout out, Pastor Matt over there is doing a phenomenal job, and he was not the pastor at the time that we were there. Long story. I'm not getting into it, but the women's ministry would go. They would obviously it was just the women that would go. They'd go pick up a bunch of roses, and they would go to the strip club after hours when all the ladies were walking out of, I'm assuming, the dressing room or wherever they were walking out of, and they would hand them roses as they were walking out and go, "Hey, God loves you. Hey, Jesus loves you. Hey, you're valued. Hey, we see you. We love you." And they would just hand roses to these ladies. And I'm like, dude, talk about being the hands and feet of Jesus. That's it. That's what it looks like to be the hands and feet. It is not anything else other than that right there.
Jesus would have never criticized a woman who is, like spinning on a pole for what she does. If he were to come across her, there would be nothing but love and grace and specifically truth. I mean, like the woman at Jacob's well. I mean, she had a rocky past and he like, he just simply had a
And he
conversation with
said
her.
it in truth and grace.
I mean, from that she left knowing that like she had just encountered the Messiah, knowing that he was going to be the one to take away all of her sin and that the one who can forgive has come. The only times, and if I'm wrong, please reach out to notasafeplacepod at
At
gmail.com
gmail.com.
and let me know. But I think the only times that Jesus was ever criticizing somebody was because that they were claiming to be to
Pharisees.
be yeah, specifically Pharisees, but they were claiming to be these righteous people, or at least to be claiming to be living by these godly standards, and then they just
They weren't.
weren't. So
Hmm.
that's whenever he came and criticized. But whenever people were not claiming to be living by these standards, and then at those points he would just seek opportunities to be able to be like, hey, like, I know that you're trying your hardest right now, but and that it's not working out right now. I'm not saying that's going to work out perfectly, but let me make things a little easier on you.
Hmm.
Here's a, here's what's really going on upstairs.
Right.
And if you're about it, then that's awesome. You can live with me in paradise forever. If you're not, be safe on your endeavors.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a scripture I was trying to find, and it specifically says it. I just can't find it, but there's one that kind of it says exactly what it says exactly what the other scripture says, but it's within the context of a story. It's not just a fact, so I have to kind of give some context. So the context, it's Isaiah chapter 37, verses 30. It's verse 35, and so basically this is coming on the tail end of God speaking through Isaiah to King Hezekiah, saying, "The Assyrians will fall, and I will protect you." Um, so this is the scripture right here, and it's so interesting. Okay, so it's verse 35. It says, "I will defend this city and save it for my sake and for the sake of David my servant." Okay, so there's a scripture that says it more plainly, and I wish I could find it, but I couldn't find it. When the Lord blesses us, and when he shows us favor, and when he does amazing things in our lives, like provide things miraculously, like, just shows his faithfulness to us, it is not for our glory. It's for God's glory. So what happens is some of these people, like this girl, she really likes you for some odd reason. For her, she's thinking odd. For me and you, we know why. She's attracted to the anointing.
Hmm.
She sees that, oh, this guy is really nice to me. Probably one of the only guys that's ever been nice to her, considering she's working at a strip club. Okay. Unpopular opinion and probably a hot take. Men who go to strip clubs, you're kind of skeezy, dude. You're a little
Straight
skeezy.
up.
Okay? I'm not trying to be rude. And if you are going to strip clubs, man, I hope you find what you're looking for in Jesus. You want to be loved and you're craving intimacy in the
It's the
wrong
only place that you
places.
could possibly find it whenever you
Hmm.
have a void that deep.
Yes.
I
And you
mean,
don't know Jesus, that's the only place. And I guarantee you're still not finding it. But anyways, I'll digress. She's probably around men who aren't treating her well. She probably hasn't had a whole lot of men take interest in her besides her physical body. And you just stroll up, being nice, being you, and she's like, "I love this dude. This is so counterintuitive to everything that I've ever met." And you are just simply being, "Okay, Jesus, I'm gonna be your hands and feet today." That's it, right? What she's attracted to is the anointing. She's
mhm.
attracted to the Jesus in you. That's what she's attracted to. She's not attracted to you. Not to say that you're unattractive, Jake. I'm
I
sorry.
know what you're saying.
That's why we call you Ryan
The
Gosling.
emphasis was with an exclamation point, though. I
Okay.
will say that.
Okay. But she's attracted to the Jesus in you.
Mhm.
That's what she's attracted to. And so, I think at the end of the day, when we meet people and when we talk to people, what should be attractive to them is the Jesus in us. That goes back to the street preacher. We're tying up loose ends here, guys. This is kind of a first.
100%.
We're tying up all the loose ends, kind of coming to this nice little
We've tied up loose ends
place.
before, but it was like days or weeks
Days.
later.
Oh, it would take days to tie up loose
Yeah.
ends. Wow, we're tying them up pretty quick now. People are going to be attracted to the Jesus in you. They're not going to be attracted to you telling them that they're wrong when you don't even know them. When you don't know them. I've been in youth ministry for almost 4.5 years, almost 5 years. Well, let me share a story real quick. So we had this one student. he came in and cool kid. I met him one Sunday morning. We actually just started like I met him by talking to him about Minecraft. That's how I met him. And yeah, it was we just like, hey bro, what's up, man? What grade are you in? And he told me what grade he was in. And I was like, oh bro, what games you play? And he kind of started naming some games. I was like, you play Minecraft? He goes, yeah, bro, I do. And I was like, oh, we have a youth Minecraft server you should join. Starts he joins the youth Minecraft server, starts coming to church, and the kid was crazy. He was crazy. Like he was the kind of kid that like it would kind of be quiet, and all of a sudden you'd hear him just go yep, like just start making noises. And I'm like, bro, chill. And it just he was a young kid, okay, so like these are all standard behaviors for a young kid. And impulse control was just non-existent, which is average for a middle school kid. But what it wasn't average was it was like, hey buddy, I need you to stop. And typically I can say that and the kids would stop. And then the next time they come into youth, you just have to correct it again. And then eventually they learn or they just grow up. That's really the big one, right? Well, it was like constantly and constantly and constantly. And I was like, dude, like I remember just in my head going, all right, like I got to mentally prepare myself for this kid to come in. And I kid you not, I took the time outside of our youth time, which was Sunday evenings. I took time outside of a Sunday evening to play video games with him, to chill with him, to just build a relationship with him. And I kid you not, it was like almost overnight. He came into youth group and like all the behavior problems that we had went away. Hey buddy, I need you to stop doing that. Yeah, okay. I will. He'd stop doing it. Period. He started respecting me and the other leaders more. He really kind of became a leader at one point where I was like, dang, dude. Like, I remember one time I had to get on to everyone and was like, listen, I'm not here to waste my breath. And he's sensitive to louder noises. And he was like sitting right beside me when I had to raise my voice. And I was like, hey, dude, like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to yell in your ear. And he turns and he looks at me and he goes, no, dude, we deserved it. And I remember in that moment going, dang, like, you've grown. But I'll bring it all the way back around to say that you have to build relationships. If you're not building relationships, then you're not doing them. You're not doing ministry right if you're not building relationships. You're not. Sorry. If you think that you can just get up on a stage and preach and that's your ministry, get lost.
Yeah, anytime that I've talked to you about, I guess just what it's like being in your level of ministry, because like for example, there's been like weeks whenever you've been out of town or something, and so the rest of us are basically having to like sub in and just make sure that everything is running smoothly, and almost almost 0% of what you have said, like in terms of advice, has been about like things to say or how to act on stage talking to everybody. Everything else, it's all about developing relationships with these kids, praying for them, like just taking an actual interest in like what's going on with them, and simply taking the time to listen to them. And I mean, it's never about like the message. In terms of the message, like if you are properly in your word, or in the word, on like a daily basis, that's another conversation. I'm not going into the details, but
Yeah.
if you're in the word and you're preparing how you should be, the message is gonna come. And even if not, like the Holy Spirit can come and say the message through you anyways, and you have no idea what just happened. Where you got to step in is with everything else. Whenever they're running around, whenever we're having pizza beforehand and they're wanting to start a food fight,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever they're standing in the back corner while everybody's having fun and they're just sitting there sulking.
Yep.
Go find out why.
Mm-hmm.
But also, because dude, I'll tell you what, like it's difficult sometimes, especially with
Yeah.
these junior high kids.
Yeah.
It gets
Impulse
real
control
difficult.
is just not existent.
Not even close.
Not existent. So sometimes you have to play on the lack of impulse control. But dude, I'm a firm believer in kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I live by it.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, here's what I believe. There's a shift. There's a massive shift. And a lot of these bigger churches are going to be struggling. Some, I wouldn't say all, but I think some, where the big flashy shows aren't cutting it anymore. This younger generation, even our generation, what we're looking for is something real, not something performed.
Right.
So like, and I'm a firm believer in this. If you were to take all your time sermon prepping and throw it out the window, and if you were to just all that time that you would spend sermon prepping, just stay in a time of prayer, praying over each kid by name, you that next Sunday will be more equipped to do ministry than if you were to spend all that time reading through commentaries and reading through all these other things. Obviously, that's not to say don't read your Bible, but what that is to say is our prayer life is so important, because what's going to happen is you will be able to go up and deliver a message that is timely because you've been praying about it and the Lord's speaking to you, and pointed, meaning it's specific for somebody, not just let me preach this message because I think you need to hear this. Man, if we would just spend more time praying for students and praying for people by name, like you don't even have to be in ministry to do this. Just pray for people by name. The Lord would use you so much more than if you, I gotta know more about the Bible. No, you don't. Go to seminary and they're gonna tell you the same thing. No one knows everything. That's it.
That's why there's different seminary schools.
Nobody knows everything. Everyone just thinks they know something. And it's like, nah, read the Bible. And then wait. If you learn a concept within the Bible and it doesn't plug into the rest of what the Bible's saying, what you learned is wrong. I'm not talking about just the New Testament or the Old Testament. It has to plug into both. If it doesn't, if what you believe only plugs and plays in the New Testament but does not correlate or plug and play in the Old Testament, you're believing something wrong. Backtrack.
It's one big picture.
Oh,
it's
one huge picture.
It's not two, like, this isn't Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
No, dude.
This is Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Like, it's the same story, just told in two different sections.
I got some hot takes on Lord of the Rings.
Do you?
I do. We're not going to share them today because I'm going to piss.
Okay, good. Because I need to go watch it before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Please. Okay. Yeah. I want to watch the extended cuts before I have my fully formed opinions. But I watched the original ones.
It's weird because I've seen so many like behind the scenes and like Lord of the Rings theories. Like my TikTok algorithm thinks that I've seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I have
but you
never.
haven't.
No,
Yeah, okay.
I have not.
They're good. Give it a good watch.
They seem okay. I've heard mixed reviews.
I'm a big D&D guy.
Yeah.
So some of my expectations.
Honestly, I don't mind cheesy stuff just as long as it's a good story.
It's not cheesy. Definitely not cheesy.
Also have heard mixed reviews.
Oh, okay. Someone said Lord of the Rings was cheesy?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, maybe not necessarily the story itself, but just like the acting and like the sets and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it.
I wouldn't have classified it as cheesy. That's interesting.
Yeah, we'll see
Yo,
though.
That's what I want. Email us in notasafeplacepod@gmail.com. Your opinions on Lord of the Rings. That's what I want to hear. Okay? We're going to talk about it. Lord of the Rings. I'm curious as to what y'all think about it. We'll talk about it.
I'd like to know because I'm about to go watch him. So I want to know if... Yeah, I just want to see who agrees and who disagrees.
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight, folks. Thank you so much. Episode number 1. Man.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Wow. We definitely dodged some bullets early on. We almost got on to the...
How long have we been going?
An hour and a half almost.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're
I hope this
talking
wasn't
about
forever
strippers,
for you.
right?
Come on, just $5 more.
Oh man, yeah. Listen, oh man, no one's gonna be able to turn this podcast on and just start listening like at random spots. You're gonna have to start at the beginning. Listen, from now on, okay. The snippets that we're gonna post on social media aren't always gonna be the full story because there's no way we could sum up that whole story in a minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, man.
Okay, so listen. Okay, listen.
No amount of editing in the world could possibly bring it to a minute 30 seconds, and especially with the way that you and I tell stories too. Because I probably spent like 40 minutes on that stripper story.
Yeah, but then we chased a lot of tangents while
that's
we were
why.
doing that.
But
yeah.
even still, like if you were to edit all that out and put it together, that's 30 minutes probably. I cannot tell a short story.
No.
If I do, I left out so many details I thought were important.
Listen, if we wanted to share short stories, we wouldn't have started a podcast.
No.
Okay, good. Glad we're on the same page there. So, future reference, you have to listen to the whole pod. You can't just skip around. That's not how this works. We don't skip. We don't skip around. We like context. It's beautiful.
Straight up.
Listen, we love you guys. If you don't already, follow us on social media. Not a Safe Place Pod on Instagram, on TikTok. We're on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, and you're like, man, I want to see some of those facial reactions. Listen. If this is what you're thinking right now, man, I heard Lance say that this Jake Hopper guy looks like Ryan Gosling. Man, hop over to the YouTube. You'll be able to find out exactly how right I am. Okay, I'm pretty darn right. I love that. That was a well-timed thumbs up.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, go to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see that wonderful thumbs up he just gave the camera. If not, you're missing out. Same thing with Apple Podcasts. Listen, we love you. We love you. It's a heated debate in my house right now. Apple Music or Spotify. It's a heated debate between me and him.
Before you said that, because I didn't know you were going there. I was going to say, like, next episode we will be going over Apple Music versus Spotify.
Okay, well, okay.
If your music app doesn't have green in it, I don't want anything to do with you.
Go! Whoa-wee! Yeah, we're going to respectfully decline that. Respectfully just decline that. Terrible opinion, by the way. We'll debate it next week. If we remember. That's a good one. We have to remember these things.
For sure.
Make sure you email in and remind us, because next week we'll start talking about this, and the next thing you know, we're going to be talking about how the earth is flat.
I think it's a donut shape.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way too. Anyways, listen, guys, in all seriousness, we love you. Please, if you would, rate us. I was going to make a really dumb joke. I didn't know what to do with my hands. You see all the stuff you're missing out on if you're watching on Spotify. What do I do with my hands? Or on Apple Music, superior. So, listen, okay? If you would do me and Sir Jake Hopper over here a wonderful pleasure of giving us a rate, an honest rate. I don't want just a 5-star. Listen, I want to work for that 5-star. We want to work for that 5-star. If you think, hey, Lance, y'all deserve 2 stars. Okay, cool. I hope to win that 5-star one day, okay? Listen, if you're listening on YouTube, give us a like, okay? If you want, don't do it if you don't want to. Subscribe only if you want to. If you hate us, give us a thumbs down and shoot us an email. I want hate mail. Please send it if you want to, okay? Love you guys. Remember, we're here. This is not a safe place. There is no topic that is safe. Everything will be talked about. We loved you. We loved you guys. Not anymore, though. Sorry. We love you guys.
It was good for the time being.
It was. One episode, and we're done. We caused already too much trouble. I can hear the elders of the church calling me right now already. And it's 11:13 at night.
Man, this really is a 24-hour job.
It's a 24-hour job. Listen, we love you guys. We'll see you guys again next week. Please remind us to talk about the Apple and Spotify, please. Send us emails.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Peace.
See ya.